What's up guys, I'm Kyther, and if you've ever played Minecraft for any amount of time, you'll know that geometry is a key aspect of the gameplay. So today I thought I'd go over a couple different parts of geometry in Minecraft and teach you something that might up your game. So first up we have the point. The point can exist at any point in a plane and has no mass at all. Next up we have the line, and it's made up of an intersection between 2 points. The line is relatively boring. That's why we're going to go on to the line's cousin, the diagonal line. The diagonal line is actually surprisingly useful in so many situations, and here's why. If I wanted to make a square like 5 blocks wide in here, I could count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way. But then I'd have to like recount and I wouldn't know, and it kind of gets irritating, especially the bigger your squares get. But if I do this handy little trick and I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I can pull them in from this side, I have a square. And I can do it on the opposite side too. 5. And now I have a bigger square that's 10 blocks wide. Just like that. And it's real handy for stuff like that. Next up, I'm going to be going over lines. I'm just going to put this here for reference. So if you notice, the horizontal line is 1 over, 1 up, 1 over, 1 up, 1 over, and 1 up. And we can use this pattern for many different things. Like we could do a pattern where there's 5 over and then 1 up, and then 5 over and then 1 up, and then 5 over and so on. And that looks like that. Or we could do 4, which looks like that, or 3 looks like this, and 2 looks like this. I put marks here for 5, 4, 3, and 2 respectively, just in case you wanted to see where they were at, and obviously this would be a 1. Now you can flip them and go the other way and go 1 over and 2 up, 1 over and 3 up, 1 over and 4 up, and 1 over and 5 up. And if you notice, I'm using these things called structure blocks to help me out, and I can do a video on them and a couple other more of the hidden blocks in Minecraft if this video gets 2 likes. The other thing you can do with lines is make custom lines, and I'll show you how to do that towards the end of the video. Where lines come, triangles are sure to follow. You could draw a triangle around this to make a right 45, 45, 90 degree triangle like this. And in mathematics, this is one of those like prime triangles. Not quite sure what they're called. But anyway, like this is a 45 degree angle. That's a right angle, and then that's a 45 degree angle. And there's some stuff that you can do with these guys, like proofs. Yeah, you can use them to make squares like I showed you earlier, and that's pretty much their best use. If you look closely, you would have noticed that the -2 is actually a 30, 60, 90 degree angle, where that's 60 degrees, that's 90, and over here is 30 degrees. And this is another one that's used in proofs. And its brother, the 2 one, is actually the 60 degree angle, where that's 30 degrees, that's 90 degrees, and this is 60 degrees. And yeah, it's also used for proofs. And you can use it to make different kinds and shapes of buildings and stuff like that. Now it's time to get wiggly. The circle is a pretty interesting thing to try to make in Minecraft because Minecraft is made up of squares. So to make a circle, I suggest using the diagonal line. so that you can get like a good sense of where your middle is. So like you pick your middle and then you go out from that and make all of your sides, and that way you get your radius. So like if this was the middle of my circle, my radius would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for this one, I'm gonna do 3 on 3 as the main sides of the circle, and then I connect them with 1s. This isn't a very good circle, but it'll do for the illustration. So now I have basically a circle right here. So basically what you want to do with the circle is make a line where you start out with a longer section and then you go down to a shorter section and make subsequent shorter sections that get shorter and shorter until you get to 1, and then you do exactly what you just did in reverse. And I over here I have a command that shows you how to do stuff like this. These look a lot more circly because of how it takes the big ones and then goes down to smaller and smaller and smaller and then back up to big ones. So I'm going to go over this in a different video about commands. So, but basically what you're doing is you're kind of like drawing your circle. Like I'm just going to do one real quick like this so that you can get a good idea of where it is. If you want to know what size these circles are, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And this would be a size 16 circle. You're taking a wide area, like 7 blocks, and then you're going down to like 2, and then 2, and then 1, 1. So right here at this one is where the divide is. So this part mirrors that part, so it goes back up to 1 and then 2 and 2 and then 7 in the other direction. And what you want to have happen is that this right here is exactly the same if you cut it down straight down the middle, like at a 45-degree angle, that this part right here is exactly the same as this part right here. And so it should look like this. So you want equal pieces in your pie, if you know what I mean. So not only are circles useful in making like towers and stuff like that, they're also useful in making like curvy hallways. So if you want to have like a place over here and a place over there and you want a curvy hallway to it, you can kind of make like 2 circles like this. So like that, and then have another one like this blue one that was bigger like this, and now you have like this pathway that kind of arches gently, and it's really nice. So when you're making custom lines, it's a good idea to have a composter around because it prevents you from moving around and making too many variations whenever you're doing this. So like if you want to make a path to your secret birch base, like over there, it's not really straight and it's not really diagonal. You want to figure out what kind of a line you should make to make a path. So what you do is you just kind of take a bow and just fire it at the thing at various pool lengths, and it'll give you this nice line. And you can also fire it up a little bit to give you a better idea of what it looks like closer up. And it'll probably end up like something like this, where it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, where it's not really an orthodox line, but it gets the job done. And you can do this with all sorts of different line combinations, where it could be like 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. And the other way to go about doing this is if like you have a squid farm over here and you want to get to it, you can also use like a fishing rod and make a line with the fishing rod, because the fishing rod actually gives you a real line to work with. And I think this is going to give me the same thing. Nope. So it's going to give me something like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So the last thing in 2D shapes that I need to go over is parabolas. Parabolas are basically like a messed up circle. They just keep going instead of continue to curve. So you have the same idea with starting out with larger sets of lines and then progressively going smaller. So we have like 3 and then 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. But here, instead of turning, we keep going and going and going and going. And this can be used for like pathways and hallways and things like that. And you could also take it out more to make it look more like this. So it's bigger and farther away. And you just keep making it progressively larger, and it's what's called exponential growth. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you want to see a really cool thing you can do with shapes like this, then subscribe to my channel and keep watching, because I'll probably make a video on Geometry 102 covering 3-dimensional shapes pretty soon. See you around.